have been taken on the floor, amongst which you would know that the act to amend the Electoral Act came up on the floor of the House this week. And so many things. Interestingly, the incident that happened in Kogi State in view was one of the sections that we looked at so that we forestall such a incident or a lacuna from happening in the case of elections. Other issues that came up on the floor are issues of the issue of the pension, where after the meeting of the Speaker with members of the pension community yesterday, a motion came up on the floor which was very well debated, and we decided to ask the relevant ministers to come on the floor of the House and, of course, explain to Nigerians why we have these issues in pension administration and payments of the pension. Another issue that came up, which was very interesting and touches the nerve of the economy and Nigeria as a whole, is the issue that has to do with the package, small, medium-scale loans by Bank of Industry to small and medium-scale enterprises. It was equally very well debated with a lot of enthusiasm. And at the end of the day, resolutions were reached, which I believe are in the best interest of our country in order to bring us out of the recession and improve on the standard of living. Today, an issue that was debated on the floor is a motion that came up some weeks back with regards to an investigation in IRS. And we debated it once again, and it was realized that there was substantiative evidence, or rather, enough for us to go by to actually launch an investigation. As a point of emphasis, we're not drawing any judgments. We are not concluding on any matter, but with what has been brought before us, of course, which was presented on the floor, document from the Corporate Affairs Commission of a company that was registered and 2 working days after was given a job by FRS. This is by FRS. This is equally from FIRS Procurement Department, and this is from the Corporate Affairs Commission. And on the strength of these, the motion was put to question again, and the House, of course, resolved to investigate this matter. This is in line with the legislative agenda of the 8th Assembly to make sure we block leakages and corruption is dealt with. So in any form, if it comes up, we'll do a thorough investigation to make sure that as a country, we're on the right footing morally, economically. With regards to the budget, we're still working extensively on it, compiling, and the shortest possible time, we would bring out a budget that will indeed take us on the road to total recovery from the state of recession we're in. With this, I'd want to thank you very much, thank the media for the great job you're doing. Secondly, it borders on the fact of allegations of breach of this law. If there is any material evidence that can show our laws were breached in any way, then it is something that would be considered. And just as I have shown you, documents were presented on the floor to show there was a breach, which necessitated the fact that after the motion was rescinded, and remember, relevant rules were quoted to ensure that it's a process that could have been undertaken. And after we were satisfied it could be undertaken, after being rescinded, it was represented. And of course, based on the merits, we are investigating it. Just as I said, we as a House would never condone corruption in any scale or on any measure whatsoever. We have been elected to make sure that the average Nigerian, or every Nigerian, not the average Nigerian, but every Nigerian as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is duly represented. And that's why we're here, To that end, we're very welcome to any committee, and of course, we're going to work with them as harmoniously as possible. I can tell you, as a matter of fact, there's no strife between the legislature, especially the House speaking for the House of Reps, and the presidency whatsoever. We're all fulfilling our constitutional roles and our constitutional duties.